Hey you guys, in this video, I'm gonna show you how I waterproofed this bathtub surround. There are so many products on the market now that are amazing. There are so many different methods. This is not the only way you can do it. This is probably gonna be the method that is the most cost effective, the cheapest if you're on a budget. This is also probably gonna be a method that you're gonna have the most accessibility to products and materials. If you live in a small town like me and don't have access to a lot of specialty products and stores, if you have a big box home improvement store, you are going to be able to get all of these products, or at least a version of all of these products in your hometown. So this method is great for me when I'm on a budget and I'm on a time crunch. There's other products I love, but I have to travel 3 hours one way just to get them. You can see I have all this gray stuff on the walls. This is called Hardy Backer or Hardy board. It's a brand of concrete board. I think it's named after a guy named James Hardy, but you can use any concrete board that you desire. And then you're gonna get these special screws. They specifically say that they're made for cement boards. Now, when you install the backer board, if you're screwing it on really close to an edge, make sure you pre-drill because this stuff can break and crack. So pre-drill if you're right by an edge or you're really close to a corner. Now, once you install the board, you are going to take mesh tape. Now this is the mesh tape you get in your tile section, not your drywall section. So make sure you get mesh tape that is made specifically for your tile areas. This tape has a slight stickiness to it. So your first step is just going to be to take the tape and put it across any of the parts where two pieces of concrete board come together, or any corners or any gaps, because what we're trying to do is make a nice solid surface that we can roll our waterproofing membrane onto. So when I put it on a gap between two pieces of concrete board, sometimes I'll just smooth it out with my hand, but sometimes I'll use a 4-inch drywall knife just to smooth across it and get it pushed into place really firmly. The other option you have when you get to corners is to use that 4-inch drywall knife to kind of build the corner, or they also have a 90-degree tool that you can use for plaster, stucco, drywall, and I'll put a picture of that here just so you can see what I'm talking about. You can do it either way. Then what you're gonna do is mix up some thin set, and again, I like to use my 4-inch drywall knife, and I just take that and I put a smooth coating of thin set across my mesh tape everywhere. I put a coating of thin set over any of my screw holes. If they're not flush or inlaid a little bit, I get my drill back out and I make sure that those are flush and below the surface of the concrete board. And you're just gonna take your time getting a nice coating on here. If you miss any spots or you have to do a second coat, that's fine. If you overcoat, you can scrape this with a drywall knife or you can sand this down even, so don't stress too much. The most important thing is getting really good coverage, again, so we have a nice solid coat to put our membrane on. Before we start to roll on the waterproofing membrane, we want to protect the bathtub. Now, my bathtub came with a clear film on it. I had to peel it back in a couple spots so I could do some of my other prep work, but I then went ahead and used painter's tape and plastic to cover any of the exposed parts of the bathtub, just in case I dropped any of the waterproofing membrane onto the tub. For the flat surfaces, you're just going to roll this on with a roller. On the corners, you're going to use a brush. I started with a foam paint pad and that did not work that well. I would definitely recommend an actual brush for the corners. It really got the membrane in there better. Read the install instructions for your specific product that you're using and double check the recoat time and how many coats you need to install. I actually end up doing more layers than was recommended for Aqua Defense because I just didn't feel like I was getting a uniform enough membrane. This is somewhere you don't want to cheap out. You want to make sure that you're getting a really good coating. So if in doubt, I would just recommend doing another layer and really make sure to reinforce your corners well. You also want to check on the fumes your product releases as it's drying. Aqua Defense doesn't have a lot of fumes and I still made sure to have my bathroom fan running, but I've heard that RedGuard and some of the other products release a lot stronger odors, so make sure that you're safe when you're installing these and you have proper ventilation. All right, we have just installed our final layer of Aqua Defense on the walls. I'm gonna turn on my bathroom fan, I'm gonna leave for the night, I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry, and then you are ready to go ahead and tile or put over whatever substrate you're gonna go with next. In my case, like I told you guys before, I want to learn how to use micro cement, so that's what I'm using in my install here. So if you want to learn the process of micro cement along with me, then please look for my upcoming videos and I will document the whole process, the ups and the downs and the learning curves of figuring out micro cement. See you guys later. Bye.